Alright, hello everybody. My name is Seal, and today I was bored. So, we're just going to be making an Evolve tier list. So, Evolve, Legacy Evolve has 7 monsters in the game, if that's correct. 3, yeah, alright. So first we're going to start off with the OG Goliath himself, right? We're going to put him in A tier. Okay. Goliath is an A tier monster because he's not necessarily overpowered. He has a lot of good CC to him. He can really push hunters out of position. He has really powerful attacks, especially Rock Throw. When you level that up, it's insane. Leap Smash has an insane radius and can hit hunters from very far away. And overall, he's just a very good monster and one of the most balanced monsters out of the entire cast. But he's not overpowered. He's just balanced. He's A tier, and a lot of people use him. He's a starter monster. Everybody chooses him when they start the game because he's the first monster that they see. He's the cover art, everything. And he gets the job done very well. But his brother, on the other hand, Meteor Goliath, we're gonna put him in. It's hard to say this, but I think I'm gonna put him in D tier. Nah, we're gonna put him in C tier, right? So Meteor Goliath, he's not as good as the original Goliath because he has less damage. He can spread out damage amongst the team that you're facing against, but he has a lot of counters. For example, Rogue Val is a counter to Meteor Goliath, believe it or not, no matter how crap she is. Val could also be a counter to Meteor Goliath if he doesn't know how to spread damage. You need to know how to spread damage as Meteor Goliath in order to play him correctly, but he just has so minimal damage on all of his abilities that he isn't really the most suitable monster for playing. He can destroy damage comps, but also they can destroy him very easily. He can reveal cloaked hunters, but like, I don't know. He just doesn't have enough damage. If the medic can heal a lot, you're not going to do anything with Meteor Goliath. But he can get the job done if you have a bad team. Then we have Kelder. We're going to put him in S tier. I think everyone's going to know why I put Kelder in S tier. His abilities are broken. He does way too much damage. He's always in your face. His abilities are humongous. You cannot dodge them. They're almost impossible to dodge. Banshee Missile. Since he's always in your face, Banshee Missile is really imbalanced because it's like a Rock Throw, except Elder Kraken can cast his Banshee Missile in like such a short amount of time that the hunter can't even react. And if he does, then like the Kelder's bad. Death Spiral goes through walls, objects, and stuff. And overall, he's just a really broken monster. He can decimate hunter teams at stage 1 easily, and that's not like an easy task to do as monster. So we're gonna put him in S tier, but not for good reasons. This monster is generally frowned upon when played, especially when you play him on indoor maps. Or not indoor maps, but maps with tunnels such as Aviary, or maps like Broken Hill Foundry or Broken Hill Mine. Both of those maps are just garbage. But yeah, Elder Kraken S tier, not for a good reason. Kraken, long ranged. We're gonna put him in B tier. Kraken has a lot of range, although you have to learn how to play him correctly. His attacks are easily dodgeable, and he has a lot of counters. Stasis counters him. Harpoons sort of counter him. Jack can repulse him down to the ground. And if you're on the ground 24/7, you can't throw your lightning snowballs. And if you can't do that, you can't get consistent damage. Um, his aftershock isn't really like OP or anything. It does a lot of damage, but you also have to be in very close quarters with the hunters. He gets countered by close quarters like areas, such as like under the barracks relay or something. But he can do very well if learned correctly. He's also the slowest monster in the game. Yeah, he's definitely slower. You might be thinking like, oh no, it's Behemoth. No, because Behemoth can actually roll. Killer, or not Killer, but Kraken's just like extremely slow. Next up we got Wraith. Wraith, in my opinion, we are gonna put her in S tier. Okay. Wraith is just such a broken monster. She can abduct through walls. You go behind a freaking pillar, or even if you dodge abduction, you still get abducted by it anyway. Wraith with movement speed is inescapable, especially when she has her supernova. She just constantly hits you. Warp blast, almost unavoidable, especially when she levels it up to tier 3. If you dodge away, you'll still get hit by the radius. Her abilities like are just so spammy. Decoy is not that great, but like if you know how to use it, I'm not judging you. Yeah, Wraith overall is just not my favorite monster at all. Like, she's also very small. She has the smallest hitbox in the game, so when she's far away, it's hard to hurt her. She can also do Sky Wraith. She can like stay up in the air for the entire game. She has the smallest head hitbox, second smallest head hitbox. First place would be Gorgon, but Wraith is overall is just a really unfun monster to play against. Then we have Behemoth, and we're gonna put him in D tier. Behemoth, it pains me to put him in D tier because he is my main monster, but he's just like too buggy. His rock wall ability can get like messed up. The rock wall won't appear if there's like any form of obstruction in front of you. So if you're trying to eat and you put up a wall and the wall doesn't like show up, it could cost you the entire game. Because you're trying to eat so you don't die, and then like the hunters can just go through the hole in your wall. Every single one of his abilities make him stand still. So he just takes so much damage, especially during Lava Bomb. A lot of his abilities take a long time to come out, so they are very predictable and dodgeable. Unless you have bad ping or something. The only thing I can say about him is he has probably one of the best combos in the game, where if you tongue grab a hunter, roll him, sneak pounce him in a lava bomb or something, they can die very fast. But he has like very bad movement. He runs into everything. He runs into like a rock in the ground and then gets completely turned around. He has the biggest hitbox in the game, so it's very easy to shoot him. And you might be thinking like, oh, his head hitbox is very hard to hit. It doesn't matter. Like, if all 4 hunters are shooting at Behemoth at once, like, it's almost impossible to get anything done because he's always standing still. It's so hard to play this monster that, like, the rule of thumb for playing this monster is, like, as long as you can get out of stage 1, you might have a chance at winning. One of his biggest counters is Slim, the medic. Because he can just keep shooting at the giant hitbox and like Behemoth can literally do nothing. And yeah, overall Behemoth is just like, he's fun to play, but his gameplay is very difficult. And then we have Gorgon. And like, I want to put her in A tier, or I want to put her in S tier, but her damage is just so inconsistent. Like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna put her, because of her inconsistency, we're gonna put her in A tier. Okay, and let me explain why. Acid Spit is inconsistent, and her attacks don't do as much damage as you think unless you stack the attacks. Like Acid Spit, if you stack Acid Spit in a giant puddle instead of spreading it everywhere, it will do a ton of damage. But if you spread Acid Spit everywhere, it will do damage, but like it just won't do enough damage, especially for medics that are good at healing. She gets countered by damage comp. Speaking of Evolve, I'm getting invited to play Evolve. But she gets countered by damage comp. She has a giant hitbox on her butt. Her traversals, I'm not sure if every traversal comes back the same speed, but I'm pretty sure she has the slowest traversal in the game. Traversal recharge, at least. And yeah, like you might be thinking Gorgon is definitely an S tier monster, but Web Snare doesn't do any damage, it just has a giant radius. Acid Spit needs to be put in a giant puddle to do like consistent damage, but hunters can just dodge out of it. Spiders are killable, and her Mimic does a lot of damage but can bug Gorgon out, which is also why I'm putting her in A tier. If she didn't get bugged out by Mimic, she would have been a candidate for S tier. Not saying that she wasn't already, but like, it just a Mimic bug in general limits her to 3 abilities unless you really want to take the chances of using Mimic. And one of the abilities can just be killed over and over again unless you like spam it or something. But if you're facing a good hunter team that knows how to kill spiders, Gorgon can get killed very easily. I think she has the smallest health pool in the game. So here's my my Evolve tier list. Feel free to make of it what you will, but this is my opinion solely. And yeah, this was a good video.